Yeah, and it's an interesting topic we've talked about often. The that over the history of Zen, there has not only has there been continuous improvement and therefore change at a small level in all sorts of different things every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
In order to enhance the experience, make things better for our people, improve systems, do this, that, and the other. I mean, that's been going on for 23 years, and every now and then...
24 now.
24, sorry. 24 years, I beg your pardon.
Well, 23 and a half.
But along the way, every now and then you've had a step change.
Yeah.
So, obviously moving to Mossbridge Road was a step change, and then moving to Sandbrook Park was a step change, and I think the new strategy we're embarking upon now is a step change, but it's not like that is new to Zen. Zen's been doing that all its life, which is important for people to know and to take comfort from. That this is the evolution of the business is a perfectly natural thing. And so, the way we work will evolve, the way we engage with customers will evolve, the way we look after our people will evolve. But what won't change is our commitment, which we talk about a great deal, to the long-term happiness objectives. Happy staff, happy customers, happy suppliers is sacrosanct.
Absolutely.
That ain't going to change. People first leadership ain't going to change. The belief in the customer ain't going to change. But lots of other things will evolve because that's a good thing and that's how it should be.
No, absolutely. And I think it's all part of the journey. All part of the journey, and I totally, particularly the continuous improvement thing. It's been so key to our success for so many years, and it's so key to our success going forwards. The fact that we want to be better and better all the time. So I always say to people, think about how can you do your job better tomorrow than you're doing it today, and actually. How can you do your job better today than you were doing it yesterday? And look for the smallest little improvement that you might think is insignificant in the grand scheme of things. But you add hundreds and thousands of those together, and it just makes a massive difference to our overall service. And, we've got to where we are today, much more by hundreds and thousands of people all over the business making these little tweaks than, a few really big things like buying a building or launching a new product set or something like that. No, I completely agree. And I try as best I can to set the example in that regard to myself, really, by saying, so if I during the day come across a situation or an environment which is frustrating me because it just seems to be going not the way I want it, or it's too slow, or I can't get the answer out of my PC or system or email exchange with a bank or a third party or a prospect or whatever, I tend to stop, breathe, and then say to myself, hang on a second, if I knew there was a different way of doing this, which would not be quite so frustrating, how would I do it? And the answer typically tends to be something very small, which is continuous improvement. And so I can hopefully become a better CEO every day by doing something small, something little that makes a difference, that makes me able to do my job better. And as you say, if everybody in the organization had that approach, which I think in large part we do, then we will continue to advance. We used to in the old leadership development program, I did a little section of that, and I said the exact same thing. I was saying, I want to, I've been a CEO of this business for whatever it was, 22, 23 years. And I want to, next year, I want to be better than I am this year. So I need to be always open to, well, how can I be better? How can I do my job better?
Absolutely.
And I think it's we genuinely have embraced that within Zen, but I've seen so many times people sort of think, if you're in this role, or if you're the manager of this team or whatever, that means you've got to know it all. You've got to sort of project like you know it all. And there's nothing more that you can possibly learn, which of course is rubbish because you're just sort of saying that you've reached a plateau. But anyway, so it was 1997, I think. It was only a couple of years after we started the company. And we were in the generation centre, and I was thinking, yeah, it's stuffy, it's like industrial units, it's not at all high tech. This is not projecting the image of a high tech up and coming Rochdale business. And so I ended up finding this little site. It was a rubbish dump at the time. Yeah, it was a rubbish dump, and I remember standing on the rubbish dump thinking, this is the place. This is the place for our new high tech building. So we bought this little triangle of land from the council for not much money actually, and we built this. And it was by chance that the guy who had the shared office next to mine in the generation centre was an architect. So it was chatting with him that planted the seed of an idea. Well, you know, there's nothing in Rochdale, but maybe we can build one. Ooh, that sounds exciting. It was a real stretch in the end.
It's a great building. I mean, it must have been quite. It must have looked very modern, very avant-garde in its time.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. And it had obviously the circular, the circular meeting room there, and also the server room we made circular. So that white thing in the middle.
Oh right.
Is actually, as well as being a structural component, is the server room.
I see.
Which sounded like a great idea at the time, but of course racks are not circular; they are rectangular.
Right.
So you've then got a challenge of arranging a number of rectangular racks in a circular room.
Yeah.
Which is doable, but to be honest, not ideal.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So there's a bit of form over function going on, but of course we didn't realise at the time.